Way to start paying a bill.
Oh, intercession.
Oh, yeah.
They're not giving away $1,000.
What are somebody saying we're not going to you want some?
What are
We're not going to be able to stream.
That's 300.
I've got it set up on recording.
Have you been down to Rainbow City, the club there?
No.
I go about once a month. Not a good time.
Well, I understand they have auctions all the time.
Every Tuesday night.
Actually, I got one.
And you
I
know,
couldn't swing it around.
You could. That
Yeah,
but I'm not. I can help you swing it.
that's
Oh,
actually, when I get it
I understand.
redone this way, probably that loose, but,
Which one's a better club, this one or that loser Rainbow City?
they both, Rainbow City's just a much bigger.
You're there. They do, I know that.
Okay, we're ready to rock and roll. I hope you guys brought a lot of show and tell, because if I have to stand up here and rattle on for the next hour, I'm going to get really worn out. But I can do it, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
we won't say anything about our getting really bored.
No, I'm not going to say anything about the quality of what rolls out of my mouth either. But anyway, a couple folks said that they had dropped off of the notification list, email list, and so we have a couple of names on here. If anybody else has dropped off the list and you're aware of emails that you haven't gotten, then you know we could add your name to this too. Okay, so and you folks will be added on as they come on board. Also, if you need a name tag, and again, you folks will be added on as they come on board. But if you've been around here for a couple of meetings and you don't have a name tag, I don't do them all the time. I just do them in a batch most of the time. But I like to make sure that you have a name tag, because if anybody needs a name tag, it's me, so that I can remember what your name is, because I'm not very good at that. So if anybody needs a name tag, I'll also get it on the list there. As the door prize list finished up. Good, great. Okay. Everybody got on the door prize list?
Yeah, after you do that, I'm gonna use paper for my minutes for my.
So we're missing our secretary and his mom. But everyone's here, and so we have representation. Tonight is show and tell night, and we did this before, and folks enjoyed it, and so we're again. Does anybody have any announcements?
Well, Richard asked me to put up something about a special membership possibility. So I put the file in the cloud,
Okay.
and we don't have internet tonight.
Right.
So, basically, it is an offer for $10 discount on A&A membership for new and continuing memberships if you sign up through Richard, through our district representative, whatever it is. Sorry, I can't show you the folder or the brochure he sent me because I can't access it without the internet.
But if anybody's interested, see Mike.
Yeah, see me and I'll get you the information.
We have two more folks who come in and you can sign up to our door prizes. We give door prizes. And so, I'm sorry. Right.
been out for a little while. Charles Derby, he's from Atlanta, and he wrote this book several years ago. I have just become familiar with his writings and everything. I've got several of these books now. They're very good. This is on obsolete Alabama currency, and these are $49.95 plus $5 shipping. But I got to know him, and I told him I was coming to club tonight, so I would show this off to the club. He said anybody that is interested, he'll take a $10 off and free shipping if you're interested in the book. So it's $39.95 and no shipping. So if you're interested in this, come see me tonight and we'll set everything up. If not, deal goes away.
And once he stops printing them,
They will be gone.
Let me make one additional comment. That's the update to Rosine, which Rosine goes back to 1973 or something like that. So this includes about double or triple the number.
Well, at least that, yeah. Yeah, at least that. And it expands. He developed a new numbering system in this, and the numbering system is so much easier to understand, and it makes it so much easier to find what you're looking for in the book as well. So it really is a good reference book. And the spiral, I don't know how much any of you use reference books, but that spiral backing is amazing, because if you have a bound backing on a book, they break down so fast, it's ridiculous. You're in them so much, so yeah, I used to think that, wow, that's really a cheap way of getting a book out, but no, it's pretty nice.
works well. Yeah. It's like red books.
Yeah, the red book went to that, yeah.
And the other one, it's hardbound copy. It's like, and these kind of books tend to be passionate things. They're passionate verse deliveries, productions. Nobody gets paid for what the time they put into this.
He's actually got 3 books. This one, which is on Alabama obsolete notes. Number 2 is on CSA signers. And so this is a signature on the bottom of the CSA notes. What's cool about that is a lot of times you're looking at a note and you're wondering, wow, I wonder if that really is a person that should have signed it, or is that a fictitious signature? And not only does it tell you who signs all the notes individually, it also goes into their history and lets you know all about them, what they did in the war, everything of that nature. And then they also have one on signers of Confederate war bonds and do the same thing with that. So the guy he's really good. I believe he's a professor at one of the colleges there in Atlanta. So anyway, if anybody's interested, come see me after and we'll set things up.
And these are all very specialized areas, and as Steve's done a presentation before, Steve Young over here, where he's talked about the importance of books that he's picked up along the way and how much he's found out about. And Steve and I occasionally talk about the subject of knowledge is power, power is the money, something like that. But anyway, so it's important stuff when people are all struggling to get stuff together. They can make little differences and things that make big differences to you. Doug, did you have a question?
I'm straight.
Just straight. All right, sounds good. Were there any other announcements? No? Well, we'll start then with show and tell. Who brought a show and tell? No, we'll stop. Stop sweating. Hold it. I'm getting ahead. Hang on. So we have a new face or two. Bob is a new face. So Bob, tell us your name and a little bit about your interest in Corn Club, if you would. Or numismatics. Or exonumismatics.
All right, my name is Bob Vaughn. I got interested in collecting coins at an early age, and
just because my father had collected coins, and it's just something I picked up from him.
Yeah.
And I thought I could join the group and learn more about them, and maybe sell some of what I have, and learn the value of what I have, instead of just selling it for milk.
What kind of coins? What kind of coins did your dad? And
It kind of hit the gamut, but he, are you looking at just a specific,
characterize them in any way you wish.
I would say that he had a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I mean, he liked going to the trade shows and taking his gray sheet with him and negotiating and dickering with the vendors. And if he felt like he was picking up something for a good deal, then
Sounds like he was well into it. He was carrying a gray sheet around with him.
How did you find out about the coin club?
I belong to some different groups on Facebook, and a friend of mine locally had told me he thought that there was a local group, but he didn't know the name of it. So I just Googled and kept trying to find something, and here in Huntsville, and then I came across the Madison County Club. And
Did you find it on Facebook or?
not on Facebook. I was just had Googled and
Okay.
found something on Google.
General Google search.
Dr. Google does it again, okay? Well, Ann does our Facebook.
Yeah, if you have anything you want to post on Facebook, you can send it to me and I'll be glad to post. I think there's other people that post also, but I always announce the meetings. And I announce about the newsletter, but I'm not a big coin collector myself, so I don't have a lot of information to share. So if any of you want anything to share on Facebook, just send it to me. I can give you my email address and you can just send me a document and I'll copy it and put it on Facebook. You know.
And also your email address, unless I'm mistaken, is in the newsletter.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, once you get to the site, which ain't hard, put in coins, Madison, Huntsville, coin,
On
club, anything, anywhere, and just like, poof, there Google comes up, just on Google. And once you get there, the newsletter just has so much information in it. And if you ever miss a meeting, most all the time, minutes are done for the meetings. The secretary's not here tonight, but Aaron does a really good job of capturing a lot of what goes on here. It's just really, really helpful. And now, you know, we're streaming, and you know, we're not streaming tonight because we don't have internet, but Mike's recording this and he'll upload it. So it's not hard to find out about us and really get connected to have whatever level you want to be connected to. We were back to, was there anybody else this
Tim
morning?
and Beverly are new people.
Yes, I saw them come in at the very last moment. Yes, and I will warn you, coming in at the last moment seems to work very well because, you know, people can sometimes come in at the last moment or even late, still sign up for the door prize and win it. Anyway, I give Ann and her daughter Monica and her
You
grandson
told
Aaron a
that
heart.
story enough.
It's great to me.
They haven't heard it yet.
No, that's right.
You gotta do
These guys have won so many door prizes, it's crazy. One time they won all three of them. We had 3 door prizes.
You're fishing for things. I'm gonna find you something else to share.
Well, I'm sure something else will come along to share if it keeps happening. Please, y'all introduce yourselves and your interest in coins and so forth.
Tim,
My name is Tim Carver, and this is my mom, Beverly. I've been collecting coins since I was 9 years old. I mostly like to collect Morgan dollars, but from time to time I like to collect other forms of junk silver as well. Franklin halves, Walking Liberty halves. I really like the silver Washington quarters. And we were actually referred here tonight by a Mr. Randy Carter.
Okay. I recognize that name.
opinion of my husband. My husband just died a few months ago. My husband was a coin collector.
I see.
too.
Well, glad to have you on. Thank you.
Be sure to sign up for the newsletter.
Okay,
You know, because we need your email address,
okay.
and we don't sell it to anybody or,
Well, also, if they become members,
oh,
we'll have it.
I do have an announcement.
That's
This
also
is important. And I know Mike gets these emails. I got several emails. I got an email from Wayne. He said, hey, I'm in a meeting and you need to contact me, not by phone, but by email. You got a minute? And hey, I want you to go to Target and get me five $500 cards for our officers. So we're going to give them out. So can you go get them? So,
So you got all of them, but you forgot to get one for him.
that's right. So the deal is, if you get an email from Wayne asking for you to go get some money, it's probably not this one. It's somebody else.
Yeah.
I've got two of them recently. Todd got one.
I've got one.
I got one.
You wanted five cards? We're all members.
I got one today from you.
I got three.
But the club's website is a good site for harvesting that information. So they pick your name, and then they send it to all the other names that are listed on there.
Douglas, prior president over there in the corner, I got an email from him one time, somewhere county, I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was saying,
Back when he
that was a
was,
long time ago.
back when he was listed.
Hey, never will show up.
And I changed my name on the website from Harold to Harris. You'd be surprised. They get quite a few to Harris.
Isn't that
you?
That's it.
Slick? There you go.
I'll let you have this. Oh, it's not staying? No. Oh, okay.
Anyway, for door price, yes. Okay, I think we're back to, does anyone have a show and tell? And Dave, that's one.
Okay. We were just talking about numismatic literature, and I collect certain numismatic literature also. And three criteria I have basically: has to be Alabama, that's number one, or it's got to be a beautifully produced book, something I really like the way it looks, or it's got to be something that I find ultimately interesting and humorous. So you never know. So I brought two books. This little book here is a German book that was produced in the 1890s, and it looks pretty innocuous until you open it, and the plates are incredible. I'm going to pass it around. You know, they put the paper money plates in a reverse picture of the paper money so you couldn't cut it out and spend it. Right? And that's one of the things. So I'll start it here. And I have another book I brought that I like. This is a book, it was written in 1810 and published in 1828 by a guy named William Cobbett. And he was very adamant about the fact, and he was British, that the government of England was taking terrible advantage of its citizens by producing incredible amounts of paper money and not letting it be redeemed for a specie, gold or silver or something like that. And he railed against it. And let me read you a little piece of here so you get the general feel for it. And then I'll give you the punchline.
David,
Yes.
is some of this in the images that you sent me?
It is, but you can forget those. They're not
Well.
really, it's mostly written, so it's nothing interesting.
Yeah.
For instance, he wrote, he's writing to the Bank of England. You have, during the last 17 years, seen the quantity of paper money rapidly increase. By the way, anyone here heard about inflation? This is what he's talking about. rapidly increased. Or in other words, you have day after day seen less and less of gold and silver appear in payments. And of course, more and more paper money. But it was not until the year 1797 that the paper money began to increase so very fast. It was then that the 2 and 1 pound notes were first made by the Bank of England. They started dropping the value of the notes because slowly they were chasing paper, gold, and silver out. Well, he spends a whole book here explaining based on the acts and stuff. And the punchline here is what I'm going to give you. He ends, and first of all, he tries to be friendly so he doesn't hurt their feelings. He says, "One thing above all others, however, I'm desirous of leaving strongly impressed upon your minds, and that is my decided opinion that let what you will be the fate of paper money, that fate, however destructive, does not necessarily include any, even the smallest danger to the independence of England, or to the safety of the throne, or to the liberties or happiness of the people. I remain, gentlemen, your friend and obedient servant, William Corbett, State Prison, Newgate." August 24th, 1810. Okay, that's it.
Here, now you can take a look.
You want to talk about the coins that you,
Yeah, this is the end of this one.
yeah,
Right.
so,
So did he work
Yeah,
there,
that's
or was he a prisoner?
Prisoner. He got 2 years, had to pay an incredible amount of fines, 3,000 pounds initially, then 1,000 pounds, and when he got out he had to give them collateral. And it was not just Mr. Corbett himself.
Counterfeiting?
Excuse me?
Was it counterfeiting? Is that what he was in for?
He spent a lot of time in railways.
Well, he had plenty of time to write. It worked out pretty good. Who's next?
Well,
Cool stuff.
what I brought, unfortunately, we had the internet problem. So I had a quiz for y'all. Which coin would you pick? We'll do that some other time. So in addition to doing that, I was going to give to Aaron a youngest officer. He's 12 years old, right?
He turned 13 this week.
You go, see, you'll be getting gray hair soon. So what I brought for Aaron to give to him was some clean coins. When I was, the only way I ever acquired coins being young, and if they were clean, I didn't know anything. And you know, as you get older, you start saying, "Yikes, stay away from that stuff." But I thought, I'm going to pass around these clean coins. And I used a phrase that made Steve Young smile. I used the phrase, whizzed. Y'all remember that phrase?
yeah.
You don't remember? You know, anyway, whiz was a phrase that some of us old folks used to use. But anyway, these are some clean coins.
Well, what did it mean? Does that mean clean?
Whiz usually means on a polishing machine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if you look at these things, usually you can say, "Hey, this thing's so bright and shiny, it doesn't look real, but where's the detail? If it's so bright and shiny, what happened to all the detail?" But this is something there, or a new beginner really needs to be careful about. So I got some polished coins.
Anybody can fall into the clean coin thing. As in the Yankees, I think. Okay. Who's next? Steve! I got one. Hi.
I got a pretty unique one. Nice chuckling going here.
See, it's a nice slab, you see that? It's a nice PCGS looking slab. Well, anyway, recently a numismatic friend of mine got married. And his wedding was in the Space and Rocket Center. And my daughter was his flower girl. and she wore a spacesuit and was pitching flower bottles everywhere. It was a sight to behold. So anyway, like I said, this is a numismatic friend of mine. And did you know that they made, the U.S. government made, it's an Alabama dollar, but it's the Saturn V rocket. It's a regular issue coin now. Well, so anyway, this is not a PCGS slab. I was like, if you look at this, the label, it says 2024D, $1, TCGS Brilliant Uncirculated.
What was the name of the company? TC?
TCGS. My friend's name is Thomas and his wife's name is Christy. So it's the Thomas and Christy Grading Service.
Okay. That's good.
But if you look at the slab, I mean, it's a spinning image of a PCGS slab. I mean, even the labels are done right, the font. I mean, he's not trying to fool anybody, but these were wedding favors at his wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
So, of course, I saw a few extras at a couple other tables, so I kind of I might be a collector's item one of these days, you know what I mean? But anyway, I said, where did you get these slabs? I mean, they look just like PCGS. And he said, Alibaba.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
from China.
Yeah.
That's square.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, so this is actually a genuine Saturn V Alabama $1 coin put in a TCGS slab. So TCGS.
How was his graded? Was he accurate on his grading?
He said brilliant uncirculated, so he
Oh,
didn't.
fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, he was smart enough that, everybody argued, no, it's got to be a 64.
That's right.
I don't know, it looks like a 64 plus if you ask me. Okay, whatever. Be you to me. So anyway, so I'll start passing this down.
You need to say something.
And you're the only one in the room with one?
No, they were passing
No,
on his,
today. You're the
Oh.
only one in this room.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, it's unique. I've never seen another one. Actually, I got 4 of them. Yeah, I'm holding out for some big ones. I know what I got, so it's going
Go ahead, Todd.
I got something more.
I
I bought a large quantity of those Alabama Innovation dollars, so if anyone needs any, come and see me. I'm selling them at $3 each, which is,
You bought the deed, right?
I got the keys.
I think
Yeah,
I
the
bought the deeds, and the deeds were all had bad marks all over them. The deeds were supposed to be the better looking coin.
So if you need any, $3 each, I can bring them to the next meeting.
Say that again, I missed it.
We got the new Alabama Innovation dollars you just talking about. I got a big bag of them if you need them,
Oh, okay.
just let me know.
They're neat looking coins. I've got a 75 rocket.
The Alabama one was one of the most popular series that they've done.
Yeah, my buddy had a devil of a time getting enough of those to make the party favors, he said.
Yeah, they were hard to
He
find.
was out on Facebook offering like $3, $4, $5 a piece because he was getting close to winning.
Time crunch.
It was easier to get the slab from my father.
No, it's not falling apart.
Yeah, you stick it together. You make your own slab.
There's actually a thumb hole in the top of that slab, and you can actually pull it apart.
Yeah, you make your own.
And this is Alibaba.
Wow.
Yeah, if you super glued it, you never get it open.
Yeah.
Hey,
Does it have a hologram on
not sure. Probably everything.
Do a fake hologram,
Who else? There's PCGS to me.
That's pretty cool. Oh, always thought it was better. Those guys are.
Well, I'll pass the news around. I work for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and so I have to travel occasionally. And anytime I travel, I try to find something local to it. So I was in Montana, actually over our last meeting. So I was here one, this one. Batting average things right now, but I actually found this one is they're both trade tokens, but this first one is a place called the Bungalow, and especially from Montana in this time area, I naturally thought that it was for a different purpose, but it's actually a lunch counter token. But I picked up that and then one of the coal mine, coal company store tokens.
Cool. Very good.
You know, we used to have a bungalow club here in Huntsville, right up near the line. I don't know if y'all guys remember.
Not
Yeah,
in
that
Huntsville.
wasn't the full name.
Believe it or not,
And don't forget the world famous part of it.
They were
Yeah,
places
that's
for
right.
it. World
yeah,
famous
and believe it
bungalow.
or not, in a previous career, I actually had to run an ambulance call inside. And they did not close while we took care of the patient.
Well, yeah. They got a lot of business.
Show them the score.
The bungalow.
Who else? What you got? What you got? Oh. Doug. Man, what can it possibly be, Doug?
Only half, only 50%.
Oh, yeah.
So, how many people are familiar with PCI? PCI grading. Okay, good news. Anyway, when they started out, I think about 1989 or so, they were actually a really good grading company. They were very conservative in their grading. And to the point where they were way undergrading for stuff. And at the time, I don't know that necessarily people knew that, but as time went on, people started to realize that, started gobbling them up on the market. Anyway, there's not a lot out there anymore from that first generation. I've got a couple here that are at the very end of their run as a company, and they were terrible at the end. They just were slabbing stuff and putting crazy grades on. Anyway, I just picked up a couple because they're in the their last run of slabs. They've got a gold trim around the edge. Their originals had a green. If you see green, they're worth purchasing. They're probably in the grade. Anyway, these are gold, but I got them pretty cheap because of that. They got pretty high grades on them. They're probably both. I don't know that I agree with. One's a Barber Dime. It's graded 64. I don't think it's a 64. The other one's a walking liver half. I'm not a super great grader on those, but it's graded 65. Anyway, they're not clean at least. So just brought those for show people see what those old slabs look like.
Do they still exist at all, or?
No, they're above it. I'll give you an example. I bought a 1896 Barber Dime in one of their early holders with that green perimeter. It was graded 80/50. And I was in the process of converting all my stuff over to one company, PCGS. I sent it to be graded through Charles, and I had already cracked it out, so he did not know what it was, at least first. And he looks at the coin, he goes, "Oh wow, PCGS is gonna like this one." I said, "What do you think it'll grade?" He said, "Probably 62," and it did. Wow. So that's how I didn't have, not every green label PCI was that undergraded, but they were sorely undergraded, so.
Let me say something. That's Doug down there for you new people. He's our Barber Dime expert. If you ever have a question about Barber Dimes or anything with the word barber in it, he probably knows a lot.
Cool.
Next. I brought in an 1839 Cedar Liberty $50. Just got it this last week off of one of the heritage auctions. This is the drapery. There was the no drapery and the drapery. The drapery is the less valuable of the bunch, or of the two. It's a little better than a 40 grade in my opinion, but that's kind of how I find it.
Good. Cool coin. I say cool coin a lot. There's a lot of cool things. Cool books, cool coins, all kinds of cool stuff. guys here who dabble in that stuff, and they'll be able to hook you up with the answer to your question, probably, at least reasonably so. At least reasonably so. Anybody else? So I brought a couple of things, but not much. I don't know a lot about either one of these schools actually. There's two of one of them and one of the other. But I've got to where when I go to shows, I'm looking for things that catch my eye. It's not so much I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something that just catches my eye. And you just never know what it's going to be or where it's going to come from. And so I bought these 3 coins from the same fella. I'd never dealt with him before at the Dalton. This was at the Dalton show at a couple of weeks ago. One of these is an Indian Bengal presidency ruby. This is 1812, 1814 in that vicinity. It's a silver coin. And I just think it's lovely. I mean, and there are other coins that are have been produced that are like this. They're a little thick, they're hand stamped and all that sort of thing. They're not turned out by a machine. And they just have a certain sort of uniqueness to them. And I do enjoy silver as a medium for art. So mostly, I think I'm an art collector more than a coin collector. And these two are the same coin. They're also hand produced. They're smooth on the back side, on the obverse, on the reverse. But the front of them, it has a bird on it. And I refer to this as a rooster, but don't think it's actually a rooster. I think it's sort of a mythical bird, actually. And it has a little symbol at the top of it. You can see the whole symbol on one of the coins. It says luck. It's Cambodian coins. And these coins, think about this. Look at these coins and think about where our coin production was in the Western world in 1847 is when these were produced. And so 1847, and folks out there in the world, other parts of the world, are producing things that look like this. And it's the same coin, but I got 2 of them just for you to see just how different they could be hand produced. So I thought they were pretty cool. And the guy that I bought them from, bought them in an huge open market bazaar type situation in Cambodia. He went through a bunch of these and picked out the better ones of it. He was talking about how big this marketplace was. People came from all over the country to this thing. I know it's pretty fascinating stuff. We got some time. Anybody got a good story? Good show story. Good, any kind of story.
Steve's got a story.
I got a story. I was looking over at Bob, and I was thinking, but not a story about tags. Bob collects car tags too. Anyway, go ahead, Steve.
Anybody else get a chance to go to the ANA this year? I mean, I hadn't planned on going because we finished off on Saturday night, and I was looking forward to the week off. And my buddy's like, "Hey, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Nah, I didn't do it." Then he called me around Sunday night and said, "Hey, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. You want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude." So I got permission from Mom and went to the ANA, and it was something else. Prices have gone way up on a lot of good things. I was able to buy a lot of good things paid for them too. But I was telling these guys, it's probably a terrible story, but anybody here claustrophobic? I mean, I'm not, but anyway, the ceiling in this, I mean, the place was huge. I mean, you can imagine, you know, a big national show. I think there was 20 rows, you know, that started. And the ceilings were about this high, and they were painted black. I mean, nothing else. There's no silver, it was black. And you know how dark color will bring the walls into you. I started feeling kind of claustrophobic at the coin show. You know, it's like, you know, is the ceiling going to fall on me or what? But yeah, so the ANA was something else. Like I said, a lot of good coins. But you know, I just warn you guys, prices are up, and the demands are there more than ever. I mean, the show was just buzzing. I mean, you know, the dealers couldn't keep up.
How many dealers would you get us with it?
Oh my gosh, you figure 20 rows, easily 1,000.
Oh my God.
It's, you know, winter fun and A&A is about the same. And so anybody's going to do this, winter fun is about the same. And it's just overwhelming. And then with the low ceilings, it was just like, get me out of here.
You have people there from all over the country, dealers here.
All over the world.
All over the world.
I mean, you know, these foreign mints were there, and, you know, just everybody selling stuff. And there was plenty of stuff, and there was even more buyers. It was just incredible.
There's usually about 1,200 dealers. I've been to the Chicago area a number of times. I used to live up there or near it within a few hours. It's a fun show. There's lots. And the only one that I found that I like more is the Baltimore show. That one is amazing. Never got away from there with candy in my pocket.
Any more stories?
We're having a coin show, the ANA is having another coin show in Atlanta, Georgia. I think that's in February. That's not too far away. You know, and I think that would be I think that might be an entertaining trip.
Yeah, I was actually just checking the date. It's February 27th through March 1st. It's the National Money Show.
Part of those dates again.
February 27th through March 1st, 2025.
Of course, we have Chattanooga's coming up again in November. That's usually a pretty good show, I think. As big as Dalton, but a lot of dealers. While I've gone, well, I might have come back with some money, but, you know, I did find things new, different. It's always interesting to run into a new dealer that you haven't dealt with before. You know, sometimes that's really interesting stuff. I just never know. Well, if nobody has anything else, we can do a raffle. We need a random number generator, Harold. Because we don't have Aaron here to do our random number generation. I do two real prizes this time. Thought I had three, but I left the third one at home. Thank you. And I do encourage folks to donate more prizes.
Let's see if I can figure
Yeah,
out
some
how to do
next.
this. What's our magic number? How many do we have?
We have
21. What about these two folks?
No, that's me writing down
Zero
stuff.
until 9. The knights. Where are the knights?
Nice. Which one is it? You won't be in this.
Okay. Sorry. It'll be all right. It'll work.
What's my number? Okay. Going from 1 to 21. Here we go.
Okay.
It's number 4.
Number 4. And the prize are these mini Eagles.
Who's that?
Kurt.
Yay.
Congratulations, sir. I've noticed that Kurt wins quite a bit. I'm gonna get a group of people together, and I'm gonna go to Las Vegas. I want to see if we can make some of this pay off. Okay. Well, the first prize is American Eagle.
That's about $35 there, isn't it?
Untouched by any human hands. Seventeen. Kurt Kelly, like you need a friggin' coin.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
I feel cheated. I'm gonna keep going until we get my number.
You had trade tokens, and so Kurt is a trade token guy. Okay, I didn't.
Oh, there it was. Number 9. I made a mistake.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think any of those can win. There's got was it a racer and then the car?
What?
Yeah.
Your name had to be heard.
But the second thing,
I got you. I'm a little slow, but I thought right on after a while.
this is
Okay.
important for kids to learn.
Put that back to you. Okay.